Who's doing the recap tonight? Not it.
Not it.
That means it's our baby sister.
You got me fucked up if you think I remembered enough to do a recap, my friends. I was born, and there were a bunch of people outside of my tank, and it was very scary. And then Zermos brought me into this dark, like mystical forest place, and I then was told that there's gonna be hard times ahead, but I'm ready for it, and I think I can get it done. And then I pesto spaghetti, and I turned into a normal person, almost normal.
But all right, you guys are cleaning up after this big old pasta dinner that Fumbles was kind enough to set up for you, and Professor Zero, Dean Zero, sets up a chair in the center at the head of the table and encourages Delta to sit in. Please sit here, Delta.
Okay.
And Rengal and Rolget offer you a present, and there's a whole bunch of people just standing in line behind them.
She like tears open like excited kid on Christmas.
Nintendo 64.
It is the coolest set of clothing you have ever seen. Like it's got like lots of shimmery stuff. You describe it to me actually. It's a gift. Just keep in mind it's a gift from Rengal and Rolget. Jen knows who they are, so
it's like silver sequined but with skull patterns made out of the sequins. Like white skull sequins, and like it's all like shimmery, and it's very gay.
Nice.
It's like what I would get my child if I had a child.
Yeah. All right. And who else do you want to be in line?
I do not have the brain power to think of
Okay,
that.
you guys see in the corner, Monsieur Mortier is arguing with Professor Zero. And Dean Zero is insisting, you cannot give someone who was literally born today a fifth of alcohol as a birthday present. It is not appropriate.
It makes a salad, but she also seems kind of like a fully formed human. So
thank you. She is constructed. She is 100% viable. Surely, like, this is the perfect time to offer her alcohol.
But I don't know. We don't give Hefton alcohol, and his body is a lot older than he is. This is like the opposite of Hefton. He's literally a child.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Delta doesn't seem like a child. I think we should let Delta self-determine, or at least engage with us a little bit before we make arbitrary decisions based on Hefton. It doesn't seem fair.
And Monsieur Mortier gets in line.
Okay.
With what is clearly just a bottle, like, wrapped up in some paper.
Okay.
He's not going to listen.
That's fine. In this instance, I think it's appropriate.
I have a feeling Niall Snags is there, and he just has what's obviously a rocket or bomb or some explosive.
Niall Snags gives Delta a crossbow.
Oh, hell yeah.
A repeating crossbow. And you just take the whole little case right here that's filled with the bolts, and you lock it up in there, and then you... and it'll just fall into place.
Please do not load that indoors.
I'm gonna give Delta a map and a stone that will let her find the Town de Libre if she ever needs to get there.
Oh, sweet. Ruin's given a gift.
Obviously.
Zermos steps forward with his gift. It's 3 pine nuts.
She's definitely gonna eat them because she loved the pesto. Can I describe what she looks like after eating the pesto, since we already established, like, from a flame skull, Rango regrew his entire body?
Yeah. What does Delta look like after the introductory to the world meal?
Zermos would recognize her as, like, looking like the spitting image of young Revenant. But slightly purple and taller.
Does Zermos know what Revenant looks like?
Yeah, because of the Forest of Trials.
The Forest of Trials. And Professor Zero steps up and hands you an ornate box. This was a gift from your father.
I bet that's really good.
She opens it.
It's probably nasty.
It is the double-edged Kopesh.
As soon as she touches it, like, I'm not gonna do a voice, but she hears her patron, which is Revenant, in her head. I'm not gonna say what he says yet because I don't want it to be like actual words yet, but yeah.
And you hear a voice from the door. Well, isn't this just a touching moment?
Zermos snaps his head.
Who is it?
There is a dragonborn with a skull pattern in his scales on his face, standing in the doorway.
Where bist du? Wieso bist du hier?
He has a backpack on, and on the backpack is a whole bunch of cables and stuff rising up, and you see a drow head on top of the cables.
Can I roll perception? Is this guy a threat?
That's not perception, that's insight.
Can I roll insight if this guy's a threat?
Yeah.
16.
I'm not even there and I can perceive him as a threat.
He is dangerous, but from his body language, you don't think he means to attack anyone.
What's the vibe that Delta gets from this person?
They are terrifying. The two of them are terrifying.
She casts suggestion.
Read suggestion for me, please.
Soitantly. You suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or two and magically influence a creature you can see within range that can hear and understand you. Creatures that can't be charmed are immune to this effect. The suggestion must be worded in a manner as to make the course of action sound reasonable. Asking the creature to stab itself or harm itself in any way is not allowed. It makes a wisdom saving throw on a failed save. It pursues the course of action.
All right. And what is Delta's spell save?
17.
20.
Fuck. She says, "Go away, you're scaring me."
You have my apologies, certainly. But we're here to admire the handiwork, as it were. Not here for violence today.
State your name, stranger.
I don't have one anymore. I gave it up for knowledge. The same with Dr. Revenant the First here.
Is that the head? Are you gesturing towards the head?
And the head nods.
Well, that's gross.
Let me closer to them. And Sir Revenant the Second walks forward. Just want to get a look at you.
I think you're good where you stand.
I think I need a closer look.
Why do I have to fight everybody? Why doesn't anybody ever want to be reasonable? Everyone has to be threatened with violence to listen.
Yeah. It's hard to,
Zermos is going to give Ruin a look like, I'm about to fuck these guys up right now if they don't get away from her.
Look. What? The girl over there is the culmination of thousands of years of work. We are here to appreciate the fact that Dr. Revenant III did something we failed at. And I see that gifts are being offered, and I'd like to offer one as well.
Would you like to receive a gift from this couple? That you just said
Misty steps as far away from them as possible. Leave it on the table.
Okay.
All right, then.
I'm going to stand protectively around them.
She is like in the rafters. She is teleported into the ceiling.
And Sir Revenant the Second lifts a necklace out from his pocket and puts it down on the table. Well, I'm sorry if our presence is this disturbing to you. We only were curious.
There's a manner in which to do all of these things. We don't know you, and this is a very new, young person. If you have something non-nefarious, if you have non-nefarious reasons for being here, we understand. But you have to understand that you won't even tell us who you are.
I don't know. Delta, do you feel safe?
No.
Okay.
And Sir Revenant II looks, look at her. Of course she doesn't feel safe.
Well, you're the reason, so go away if you actually care about her. Leave the room.
I just stated that I was giving the present and leaving.
Then do it. Show us that you mean it. By taking the action.
Get out the door.
Stop flapping your
miserable
lips.
Assholes.
Get out of here.
Oh, you could see us be worse. Let's be clear. Well done. I'm high-fiving you, Zermos. That was great.
Wait. How are we the assholes?
You're not the asshole. Those two are the assholes.
You're supposed to be leaving.
Here.
I have good hearing.
Scared me.
I'm closing the door loudly, and so hopefully he can hear that.
Fumbles, perhaps you should escort this man downstairs.
Fumbles looks up at you from his crossword. Like, it's already gone.
Do we know that for sure? His voice just wafted in.
Fumbles, can you close the door, please?
Loudly.
He looks at the door that Ruin just shut, and he looks back to you.
I think if he has good hearing, we should be loud. Like, really loud. Like, irritatingly loud.
So that guy was an asshole. Both of them. Two assholes sewn together.
Yeah, one body. That's like a lot. I've known politicians.
No. It was not one body. Like, we're roll perception for me. Roll perception retroactively, Ruin.
Oh, okay.
I tried to roll perception.
Yeah, but
you were.
I'm the teacher's pet today, though. Ha ha ha.
Perception is for perceiving things.
I'm perceiving it.
I was trying to perceive if they had weapons or anything.
I'm doing it. But I have to
I'm trying to ascertain whether their threat is intuition. Like that's 100% intuition.
It's 100% awareness. I trust friggin' Zermos. I got a 1, like a natural 1. That's like the worst roll I've done in a long time.
Ooh, a giraffe.
That was a being with 2 heads and like a whole bunch of cables. Those were definitely the same, like, being stuck together.
Yeah, see, exactly. I totally knew it was happening.
I think that was an Etten.
An Etten? What's that?
It's like a giant with 2 heads.
Oh,
you look disgusting. I'm not editing that.
That's fine. Don't eat it. It's not for eating. It's for it's a. I'll let Zermos explain. So I wanted you to know.
What do Ettins eat?
Delta.
Mind.
Yeah.
Be careful with that map. Most people can't get to the town de Lubre unless they're lost. By giving you that stone and that map, you have the ability to get there even when you know where you're going. It's something usually only people who come from the town can do.
And come down from up there. See what this necklace is all about.
So if you ever need a safe place to go, you go there, and my family will take care of you.
Oh, also while you're up there, can you get off Frisbee?
Oh yeah.
It got
Oh,
stuck
wait.
in the raft. We were playing indoors and it got stuck
Yeah,
in the
but
raft.
that
Can you
frisbee
get
got
that?
upstairs.
Mage
Yeah, could you
hand
get
and
that?
She casts Mage Hand and grabs the frisbee and then pulls it back.
Thank
then
Good
you.
she,
thinking, Zermos.
Then she like jumps down and spectral magpie wings like appear behind her and she floats down.
That's so cool.
There's like 7 specific wings and one wing is obviously like missing or cut off at like the shoulder.
That's not good. Why did you lose a wing? I'm
I
sorry.
didn't lose a
Is
wing.
that
It was a windmill incident.
all right?
I always had 7.
Mm-hmm. All right. Are there any more people here? Do you have more things you want to talk about? Do you want to see this gift that they left
Yeah,
you?
come check out this necklace that they left. I don't know what this is.
She looks at the necklace and inspects it.
Do you have any affinity for determining magical items?
I have proficiency in Arcana.
Roll me Arcana.
Arcania.
No, Texarkana.
Texarkana.
21.
Oh, you said that.
Sorry,
21.
21 That-
Uno.
is a necklace of spell recovery. Once per long rest, you can use that to regain a spell slot of any level.
I don't trust it, but I'm gonna put it on because that's a pretty good mechanical benefit.
It's macaroni and like yarn.
Is it? That'd be so cool.
It's like a piece of like really moldy macaroni. Like
No,
The worst necklace ever.
It's gold and a hound's tooth.
damn, I'm getting blinked up on her first birthday.
Zermos kind of like pokes it. Clearly the tooth of a hound.
Would you like to roll perception on that one, Mikey?
No, I want to roll insight to see if the hound's tooth means us harm.
I love you guys.
So good. I love how Zermos and Mikey together make us safe, and Revenant helps us from totally pissing everybody off, including you.
I want to roll stealth to look at the necklace. But I don't want the necklace to know I'm looking at it.
Yeah, roll perception for me.
Oh, not great. 13.
That looks similar to the tooth that Revenant used to cast Vicious Maul.
That looks like the tooth that Revenant would use when they cast Vicious Maul. He says.
I don't think Delta knows what that is.
I don't think so either.
Curious.
I don't think Revenant would have told Delta anything about the Silver Bone Grim.
Yeah.
We have some information that you might be interested in.
Oh, I'd like to learn about my dad. He's the one who gave me all my magical power.
Mm-hmm. And your friends.
She nods.
We're a package deal.
Yeah, kinda.
Tyson stops by and gives Delta a bag of licorice, both black and red.
That's a good present. Is it chewed or unchewed?
Unchewed.
Oh, that's cute.
It's not even chewed.
She
Yeah,
starts
they
like
didn't even put any
taking the
effort in.
red licorice wheels and like unfurling them and then eating them after they're completely unfurled.
That's cool. So, do you remember anything about Revenant, Delta?
The things I remember about Revenant are that, he told me that I was created to right a wrong and then to pass down his knowledge and work. Like, I think he said the arm of death.
Okay. The arm of death or the armor of death?
The arm of death.
Hmm. The alm?
Arm,
Arm.
A-R-M.
Like the arm.
Aura.
Yes, I'm sorry. I have my dad's accent.
Oh no, it's not you. Let's not blame you. Okay. Like, so an arm of death. He gave you the arm of death. I'm saying this a lot because it doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm hoping, like, if I hear it a few times, it will.
He explained that the hand of a Grim is the hand of death,
Okay.
and that I am the arm of death, and that I was supposed to help him accomplish that which he is unable to.
What could Revenant not accomplish? Revenant kind of, like, super amazing.
He told me he was dying.
I think, like, the Revenants could die. That's a little confusing.
The last few days I saw him, he was fading away, as if you could see through him. Whatever was keeping him here must have ended. Wonder if he left a note.
Did he? He left us a note. It said his debts became due, or something. Do you guys remember that?
Vaguely.
It said, hold on, I wrote it down. Yeah, but it was something like his debts became due, or his markers, or something like that. Am I the only one that remembers this?
I think he said my debts are due.
You guys hear some chirping in the overhead.
Up, like there? Huh.
I'll look up.
Yeah, me too.
There are 7 magpies in the rafters.
Isn't 7 for death?
One of them has an envelope in its beak.
Is that for us?
Bud, come here.
Yeah.
It drops the envelope, which, and, does the whole little thing where it floats down.
The Pixar feather.
Yeah. And the magpies fly off into the skylight.
You've handed it to us. Didn't have to just drop it. I got it. Zermos picks it up.
Zermos, as a druid, understands a magpie chirping, "Fuck you."
But in like a really bogany voice.
You know, magpies wouldn't be such bad birds if they didn't just curse all the time.
Really?
The magpie song is like just the 7, unsayable words for television just over and over again.
It's just a bunch of slurs.
The magpie
that
song
does not
is "Shut the
surprise
fuck
me.
up" by Pink Guy.
Does not surprise me.
It's all hate-filled filth. Grab this off the floor.
And that's why I don't speak magpie.
Okay, Zermus is going to read the front. Is there any names or anything on it? Of the envelope?
Jen, you tell me.
It's on the front. It says, "To whom it may concern, from Revenant."
We have to go on a mission to find this person named "To whom it may concern." That is a long title. It should be easy to find.
You would think that, like, the Brass Vein, with all of their weird titles, they probably have it written down somewhere.
Do you like?
We'll go to the library.
Do you like?
Yeah.
Because the ink on it is shimmery. So do you like play with it in the light? Like, do you like shine
Since
it
you're
in the
holding
light
it,
up and
it'd
down?
probably be you.
I must be getting tired, Ruin. Look at the ink.
It's so sparkly! Oh my gosh!
And maybe-
Wow!
I'm
As
not-
you're
I'm not
playing
just
with the
tripping right now.
sparkly Ink,
No.
It says that means you, dumbass.
That means us, dumbass?
So
Who's
it's-
Dumas? Is it
so
Dumas? I've heard that. Like, it's
there's
a
a-
book, right?
there's a
Alexander
sec-
Dumas.
It sounds like there's a second person that we need to research.
Yeah, that's a French name. Alexander Dumas. He's a writer.
Yeah, it's misspelled dumbass. So it's
Yeah,
like
so there we go.
Dumas.
There we go. All right,
And
well,
then you see it just like backspace and then correct itself to say dumbass.
so I think what we need to do, Zermos, is read this to see who we're supposed to take it to.
Yeah, let's open it.
God
Let's do
fucking
that.
damn it! I tried to be cool.
Zermos pulls out his dagger. and opens the letter.
Jonathan
so
feels
am
your
I
pain.
just
Fumbles taps you on the shoulder and hands you a letter opener, like a proper letter opener.
No, I'm good, thanks.
We got it. Are you gonna use your teeth? I like to use my teeth in this.
No, he's using his dagger. Fine. Since you're not using a specialized tool for it, you can roll for it.
I want to attack this envelope.
Attack the letter.
I would
Attack roll.
argue if Zermos is proficient with a dagger, I'm proficient with a knife and dagger. I can open a letter with a knife and dagger.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna rules lawyer this because
What is it about saying the DM gets last call? What's that rule?
That's what you want to be the rule, but we haven't officially supported that. I don't think.
Does that particularly matter? Nah.
Did we vote for this?
Did we vote? I mean,
Overlord.
If I don't have a say in it, I don't know.
why do we need a specialized knife to open a? Oh my god! Can we just open the fucking letter? Come on! This is like,
because
holy
we're being
shit.
assholes, so we have
Zermos,
to slap down a little bit.
Zermos puts away his dagger and pulls out his spear. He's gonna throw it in the air and then stab it in the air.
Okay, Fumbles takes the letter from you and uses the letter opener himself. He's done.
Thank you, Fumbles.
He's done.
Genesis says from across the multiverse, thank you, Fumbles. And
Fumbles says you're welcome.
I'm gonna borrow Zermos' dagger to clean my nails. It's like, we can do this. It's fine.
And Fumbles opens the letter and holds it up and goes,
Allow me, sir.
mm.
And then Jonathan reads in Zermos' voice because I don't know what it says.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I was like, holy shit, I don't know. I'm not.
Do you want me to just read off what you have? Go ahead.
Or Revenant can do it, yeah.
In the event of my death, let me explain everything I've hidden from you. You know me as a mere undead. This is partially true. Through experimentation and violation of death, I have been prevented truly from moving on. In essence, my obsession with curing death tethered me to the living realm. I've succeeded. I've cured death in 3 ways. Like Dr. Revenant the First, my idea to cure death began first with artificial life. Delta is not the first of my children, but is certainly my last. The first failed to create sustained artificial synthesized organic life. I finished his work. Delta is my daughter, my greatest creation, the one who is many, the many who are one, truly alive unlike any previously built construct. Their Revenant the Second chose a similar path, and used necromancy to try to cure death. However, they only figured out how to immortalize the soul, not the body. My book that I have released contains a list of spells. One named Cure All is my second cure for death, and is currently freely available for those working for our competitors. I have left you a copy. My third cure for death is this vial. This vial contains 3 drops of my tears, magically concentrated. Give to someone when absolutely necessary. For obvious reasons, I can't make more. P.S. If you're mad that I wrote a short, unhelpful note when I left you, you try writing something when every day a piece of you slips into the afterlife. Alright, peace, cunts, boy.
Well, that does sound like Revenant, especially that end there. So threatening and sweet. I miss him.
Looks like I'll have to tell Pex that.
Yeah.
He won the push-up competition because Revenant was such a coward that he made a contract to get his soul sucked into the nether realm forever.
Yeah.
Hex is in line for the gift giving, and it is giving Delta a book on working out.
That's good.
One of those little grip trainers.
Yeah.
Abs.
Oh, it's a jump rope. It's like a pull-up bar.
It goes on your door frame.
Squeezy machines.
Yeah, the grip trainer.
You know what? He has just dragged in a whole home gym set.
It's like, you just hear the scrape against the
Carrying it on
floor.
his goblet
But no
back.
Pelotons, okay? We're not doing that.
It's like a rowing machine with like feathers instead of like the blades.
Okay, yeah, that we can do. They won't let you watch your shows. It's so rude. I read all about it in USA Today. So I would like to know, we're going to do this party and it's cool, but I'd like to know what our next steps are because I was thinking we should maybe go get some shit done.
I agree.
Well, the next steps would be to... I can't say this in character because Delta doesn't know anything, but...
But we need you as a player as well, so please say it as Jen.
What I remember us about to do was... now that we have the information to change the tablets, we have to go find where the missing tablet that the God Poachers took from Cathaw is, and we have to go to the Blasphemy Mint to destroy all of the tablets there. Or steal all of the tablets.
In this case, I would recommend using your DM-given tool of Dalingua.
Dalingua.
We haven't checked in with our assistant in quite some time.
Dalingua is there, and she gives Delta platinum books, early golden books, but early platinum books.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? What does early platinum mean?
Oh, great, because you got those little golden books in real life,
Yeah.
and these are just early platinum books.
Gotcha.
These are meant to be first reader books.
Oh, gotcha. I remember. I can smell the pages of those books now that you bring that up.
That's great.
I remember those.
I can't remember a single story, but I remember that smell, and I remember
the pokey little puppy.
Yeah.
Don't you remember the pokey little puppy?
Yes.
I do now.
I do remember the pokey little puppy.
So cute. There's a pokey little puppy. I got you.
Aw. That was a warm feeling.
Yeah. All right, so we got platinum books.
Nostalgia on that one, heroes.
Yeah.
And Dalingua looks at the two of you and goes, Do you two have a moment to discuss tactics then?
Please.
All
If by discuss, we mean we listen to what you advise us, and then we try to go do
And
it.
Fumble stands up and points to the coach. Murr!
In the coach, where it's less likely people can overhear us. Good choices.
So
Let's
you
go.
guys gonna fly over the city?
Delta,
Yeah.
would you like to come with us? Yes, please, pretty please.
She nods and then she like grabs both Ruin and Zermos's hand, and it's like between them.
Nice. Do you want to try and do 1, 2, 3 up? That's so fun.
Yes. And she's
1,
like,
2, 3. Do you not do that, Zermos?
Oh yeah, I got
Okay. So 1, 2, 3 up. Woohoo!
Do I want to just give that one to you, or do I want to make you roll? I'm going to give that one to you.
you would be heartless if you make us.
I was
roll
about to
for
say,
this.
damn, son. We try to play nice, and this is our
get a nat one
treat.
and kill Revenant's daughter.
I mean, I just did get my Latin at 1, so it's probably fine. But all right, we'll do that a couple times before we
You
get
pull a
into
shoulder out of the
thing.
socket.
I would do that.
All right. And Fumbles takes y'all up in the air. You're seeing the sparkling city beneath you, and she's like, all right. We have the Rat's Nest investigating the Mint. I am currently investigating how we can go about the tablets,
Mm-hmm.
changing them. Whew. The problem we currently have is that the God King still has people invested in his continued existence as he is. That's Killage Slabmaker. That's the vampires, the accountants. It's Christopher Rutgerson at the Divine Menagerie. The Divine Menagerie needs to be taken care of.
Wait, Christopher Rutgerson. This is a pretty long hit list. Christopher Rutgerson. I mean, we can do it. We just might need to have a snack. And Divine Menagerie.
I assumed you would take them one at a time and rest in between. I didn't think you were going to go off and kill them all immediately. But...
No, just one at a time. But we should probably strategize. I mean, I like to do the hardest thing first and then go backwards.
The thing is,
Yeah.
whichever one you pick first will give the others opportunities to bolster their own defenses.
So we should definitely do the hardest one first.
Publicly, we can make it very clear and evident that you're not doing anything wrong. But behind doors, Killage Slabmaker has to know what's going on. He has to be aware. He is the one who attacked you all when you destroyed the first tablet.
Mm-hmm.
Rudgerson is most likely a damned fool, but I think his great-great-grandfather book thing might have been more involved with a lot of the going-ons of the Divine Menagerie than we originally thought.
I think we probably need to kill the Divine Menagerie first.
So,
Or the vampires. I don't know though. How do we kill? I don't want to kill the vampires. I just want them to like decide to fuck off around this.
A question. The Divine Menagerie is where the other gods are being kept, correct?
Right, exactly. So if we free them, the gods might help us. I don't know.
well, that's the thing about it. You don't want to just free them all at once. There are a few of them that are outright. Well, I mean, there's the Headless Hag. That thing's terrifying, and it would kill everyone if you just let that.
Oh,
thing
that
out.
that could just stay in its cage then.
Yeah.
I don't know that we should be deciding what god. I mean, like it's a god. Like shouldn't they get?
I hear you, but if they're going to be actively hostile to us, whilst
Okay,
we're
that
trying
does
to
make a
free
point.
them, it'll
So-
make it
We don't want
more
to fight a
difficult.
battle on 17 fronts. We've already
Yeah.
got 4.
Yeah,
So-
4 is
Four's a
good.
lot.
4 is good for now.
What if we explain to the gods that we don't want any trouble with them, and we just want them to be happy in some way where they are not captured anymore?
I hear that, and I receive that. But if killing people makes them happy, perhaps releasing them in a town full of...
Why would killing them make them happy?
No. They like to kill things. That makes them happy.
Yeah, that's
Why?
not
Why
our.
would killing make someone happy?
You know, that's a great question, and it has to do with like a lot of esoteric things that are not super important right now.
It's really
However-
a nature versus nurture kind of.
Yeah, and some mental illness, and then also kind of the way chaos theory works. So
Also, these things are literal manifestations of their surrounding area and are heavily influenced by the existence of people and their own mental states. And there's some bad people out there.
there are sadly some really bad people.
There's
But
bad
Delta-
people out there?
There are, but not many of them. And
Not us. Not me. No, you don't have to worry about us, but yes. Most people are bad.
well,
But there is also one more thing
okay, what?
that you could do possibly tonight.
Okay.
What's up?
The Hand of the Grim has completed the spell that the Aeon Hag gave you.
What does that mean?
They are ready to perform the spell that the Aeon Hag gave you.
Okay, well, again, maybe we should go check that out, I guess. What do you
Let's go
think,
do that.
Zermos?
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds doable.
Is
I'll-
ready.
I'll
Who's-
send for Rengal to meet you at the entrance of the at the Mine Top Catacombs. Then
Isn't okay. Who is it that's doing it again? To the Mind Top Cabin. I'm asking.
Rengal?
Aisla's asking Jonathan the name of the person who's doing the spell for us because I didn't write it down.
Rengal is helping you.
Oh, I thought you called him
Okay.
something else. The silver something.
The
The,
green.
Rengal-
the Hand of the Silverbone Grim.
Oh, I didn't realize he was the
Oh
hand.
no, it's not the hand of a Silverbone Grim, it's just the hand of the Grim. They just worship death itself.
Okay. We'll take us
She's
to the
allowed
Mind
to be
Top.
minorly wrong about things.
Okay. Sound good.
Okay.
Fumbles, we need to go to the Mine Top Catacombs.
And Da Lingua does like that little, you cross your arms and fall back when you're going parachuting thing.
She does the base jump.
She does the base
Nice.
jump and soars out to go let
All
Rengal
about
know to
that
meet you
base.
there.
Base, no trouble.
She just like falls and then she turns around and her wings like start flying in the wing and then she just
That
like,
is so cool.
But you don't hear any of it because she's an owl.
yeah, it's silent.
She's so quiet.
Does she flip her head around? Like,
Oh, that's creepy.
Be like, bye.
No, she doesn't.
That'd be so cool.
And then she just
Next
spins
time
it
I
around.
want to.
Goodbye.
Yeah, say goodbye. Like the owl in The Secret of Nim.
Oh, the most
The owl in
terrifying
the Secret
owl.
of Nim is terrifying.
The most terrifying owl ever.
They invented new cartooning techniques to make that owl more terrifying.
Oh,
They
that's
took
so
inspiration
scary.
from John Carpenter's The Thing in terms of how they animate.
Are you serious? I love that movie. Like the swamp thing?
Oh yeah, random aside. Literally, the opening sequence was based off the same opening title as The Thing.
And they were like, here, let's show this to kids. And here's 4-year-old me like, that owl is literally a monster.
Was terrifying, right? Like
All
I was
owls
afraid
are
of owls
monsters.
after
And
that.
he's not
It's
even the
true.
most terrifying thing in that movie.
Yeah, but he's the only one I remember. I'm too scared to watch it again.
It's like one of my
But,
favorite movies.
I'm gonna be brave.
But as you guys are discussing plays and whatnot with Delta
Mhm.
and promising to take Delta to see a play because you realize Delta has never seen one, you roll up outside of Cathar's boarding house.
Yay! Okay. So we head to Cathar's boarding house to meet Rengal. Yeah. Wait, Cathar's dead.
Yes, he is.
So
You see his widow inside looking at the unpolished counter. And
I'm
she
not
goes
sure
to
I
start
wanna go
polishing it a little bit, and she just sighs and stops and puts everything away and pours herself a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Pour one for me too, young lady.
She looks up at you and smiles, and
I-
she pours you a drink.
I knew that would work.
You're so good. Hello, Widow Cathar.
That doesn't really need to be my name, does it?
Just for a little bit.
No, you can still call me Mrs. Cathar. That's okay.
Hello, Mrs. Cathar. Sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
He was a
You
good
know, the
man.
whole town won't even talk to me about it right now.
Why not?
Oh, they feel awkward. It's the elephant in the room.
Well, and then there's me. Hi, let's make it more awkward.
Zermos pulls out his dagger at the mention of elephants.
Not literal elephants.
Elephants in mine top.
No. It's a metaphor.
And you, young lady, what are you having?
Ooh. Oh, he used to bring in the LPAs from De Libre. Do you have any of those? They're not my favorite, but I'm a little nostalgic.
He is drop dead sworn against. He was drop dead sworn against having them himself, but he kept a few on tap.
Yeah, I would like to have one. Or if you have a sour, I do like sours better, but
But I was asking your friend there what she.
oh, Delta. Delta, what would you like to drink? I thought you were talking to me. Whatever.
Oh, we've been terribly rude.
This is Delta.
This is Delta, the daughter of your former resident.
Revenant, in case that wasn't clear.
Revenant had a daughter,
Just now.
This be
And-
her.
and she like pours you a milk and puts it down and like gets out some soup and some bread and some vegetables and
Oh.
sets
Can
it
she
all.
I-
please have a crazy straw for the milk?
It's got like the little eyes. It goes around like the little
Yes.
goggles.
That's a great idea.
That was the best straws
By all
ever.
technicality, they shouldn't exist in this world, but you know what? There's magic. We'll allow it.
Hell yeah.
They would be
There's-
cooler in this world because they could like have like funky moving colors.
Mine top is known for its glass blowing, where they can make
Mhm.
such intricate things as silly straws
There's
for
just
drinking
one
beverages.
glass blower, but damn, he is really
Hey, he is-
committed.
wow.
He is.
What a guy.
It's this little gnome called Mr. Tinker, and he just goes at it all day.
Tinker's straws.
If he's not making bongs, he's making really fun, crazy straws.
Mm-hmm.
It's niche, but accessible.
Tinker
Mr.
straws
Tinker
and clipboards.
for
I
all your
think-
glass blowing needs. No,
I
he
think
doesn't make
profits for profit should start helping.
He
Start
doesn't
producing
make any
straws.
He
No,
doesn't.
we should.
He doesn't
We
make
should
any
do it.
clipboards.
No, we should do it.
We'll make our own.
We have our clipboards. I think
But-
we should also make straws.
And then she gets like a hunk of cheese out for you, and then she goes into the pantry and she brings out like a little sweet roll.
Aw.
I think we've awakened something in her. I hope
You
you're
are
hungry.
skin and bone. You eat.
Sorry, Delta, you're gonna have to eat all of this.
Yeah, it's all
She's
for
just
you.
like
She's
eating
not gonna-
like
she's not gonna stop.
little nibbles, but she's not used to eating food. So as soon as she nibbles it, she just like, whoop, because it's so good. It's like so good having the sensation of food.
Ruin, look at her put it away.
Good job.
It's not
I
even
like it.
it's like she's not even slowing down in between main courses.
Good survival.
This is really
instinct.
good. I really
Yeah.
like this. It's
And
very nice.
she brings out a roast chicken for the table.
Ooh.
And
And a live chicken. Oh no, roast chicken.
and gives you 2 beers.
And
Mrs. Cathal, you must sit and eat with us.
Yes,
and
please.
Delta casts Revivify on the chicken.
Ew.
And she
No.
she pulls up a chair and
Gross.
she like puts a napkin in Delta's lap. And like 20 minutes later, Rengal enters the building. Tuesdays, how I long for thee.
It's not Tuesday.
I know.
Okay.
When it's all said and done, you'll have your day. Come sit.
Yep.
Come eat. We must.
I'll get
we
you
must.
some ones.
We must speak.
He sits down with you all.
Hi. Good to see you, Rengo.
Yes. So is it kosher to speak in front of Mrs. Cathar candidly about everything going on, or?
What do you guys think? She's
I
cool,
mean-
right?
Probably.
Or maybe-
Mrs. Cathal, do you want to deal with our boring business?
Or Mrs. Cathar, I know there's a meeting room right off of the first floor, if memory serves. Do you mind if
Yeah.
we use that to just speak a little business?
That's smart.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead. I'll clean up here.
Thank you.
Thank you for the food. I really liked it.
You are very welcome. And she squeezes your cheek.
What?
Did she pinch it like the grandpa pinch?
Grandma pinch.
It cracks. No, I'm just kidding.
It snaps off in her hands. So then we'll go into the room and then just kind of slide the like the heavy door.
Mhm.
It's got like one of those hideaway doors, and we just slide it closed.
Do you have like a little spell that, or like a little device we could put in, like a anti-noise, anti-eavesdroppy thing?
Yeah, are there any statues in the room?
Rengal drops a almost caltrop looking device, and you see a sphere exude from it, and the entire room is filmed over with a shimmery blue light that ceases. We're secure.
Perfect. What have you guys learned about the spell?
Well, we managed to find a witch who had not gone full cackly just yet. And we did have her, in fact, whip up the spell in a cauldron for us. It's currently down there. Specifically, what do you know about people speaking directly to the Aeon Hag?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing.
I feel like this is one of the things that Delta would actually have information about because Revenant taught her all about the gods and
Okay.
stuff.
So, Delta, you would know that those who speak to the Aeon Hag uninvited are driven mad by her words.
I was about to say that because I just figured that.
Yep.
I know that if you talk to the hag and she doesn't want to talk to you, you can go kind of insane.
Exactly. But the way she preps people for that is by, well, giving them access to a magical spell via a potion that prepares their minds for exiting the cauldron for a little bit. You're going to speak to the Aeon Hag if you want to. That's what she delivered in her little Morse code message all that time ago.
Zermos is freaked out.
Mm.
Leaving the cauldron sounds like dying. It's like because he's a druid or whatever, I'm gonna play into the fact like he's very naturalistic about most things. So the fact that he's leaving his plane of existence kind of freaks him out. So
Right.
How?
Well, technically, it would be a projection of your mind outside of the cauldron rather than fully exiting it bodily.
Oh, is
so
this
we're
like
not-
astral projection?
Kinda, yeah.
I thought you were saying we were going up to her. I was like, our bodies won't survive. We will be.
Well,
we would be.
yeah.
perish.
You would hit the glass dome up above the ceiling of everything and just splatter.
Oh, good. You know, it's not like a elevator spell.
No.
Mm-hmm.
We would hate to all meet the same fate as Samson J. Elevator 200 years ago.
Tragic.
So,
He just couldn't stop elevating himself.
you know, if you look out at the when the sun is just right, you can still see his splatter on the dome.
No one can get up there to clean it.
That's probably true.
Icarus got close, but then he flew into the sun.
Hmm.
Don't know
But-
him.
If you will mentally prepare yourself, we'll let you take a dip in the cauldron, and then you can go see her.
And are we doing this today? Are we doing this like right now? Or do we have to go somewhere to do it?
It's ready right now. It's just down in the catacombs.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, and with that, we will take a break. So, would you guys like to pick up from inside the catacombs?
Yeah, sure, why not?
So, Delta, Ruin, and Zermos glean over the edge of a cauldron. It is not the cauldron, it is a cauldron that exists within the cauldron.
Freaked me out again.
Hard to think of. Is there a cauldron in that cauldron? Who knows? There's not. Nobody put a cauldron in that cauldron.
Don't waste your time looking. It's not there.
Yep. And
But we
Rengal,
definitely know someone lives on the
Thi-
outside of the cauldron.
this cauldron is in these stone-walled catacombs with, of course, little bundles of skeletons lining the walls,
Mm-hmm.
held together with silver wire, as is the tradition in Mindtop. And this cauldron is about the size of a hot tub. And
Like a
Rengal,
2-person, 4-person, or 8-person hard tub.
like a 3-person hot tub.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Like,
Rengal gestures to it.
Does it want us to get in it?
I cannot drink all of that.
You
Oh, that's
don't
fine.
drink, you soak.
Oh, is it like? I'm gonna stick my hand in. What does it feel like? Is it bubbly, like effervescent, like a soda, or is
It
it like
feels soupy,
stew?
like a very thick stew.
Like beef
I don't-
stew from
What?
Dining
And
Room.
we're supposed to get in this?
So you can
we're
feel
getting
the
this
collagen.
stew? Can I don't try. Like, are we gonna be? Are we?
Think
gonna
of
be
it as a beauty treatment.
Okay, but I feel like if I'm getting in a stew, someone's gonna eat me, and I need you to show me some sense of trust, like reassure me around this.
You
I
don't-
do not want to be cooked.
Are we
I have-
eaten?
I have a perfectly good answer us this. Did you season this with like paprika and like chili powder?
Do you want to take a sip of it? But definitely not.
He wasn't asking to sip it. He's asking to answer a question.
There are rare and
this-
magical ingredients in there, and paprika is not one of them.
Are you
Magic
are-
paprika.
Are you
I see. Okay.
Are you marinating us before you cook us? Is it that?
Yeah, that's the question I
Is
have.
this
No.
some sort of a base that you're going to use?
Can we meet the hag who prepared this before we jump in? I'm a little concerned here.
No, you can't really meet her. She's in Blasphemy and she doesn't like being bothered. She's a total witch with a B.
Who? Okay. What am I feeling, Dr. Jonathan Two Pints? Like, does Rowan feel comfortable and reassured here? Because
She does not sound like it at all to me.
Well, I mean, I'm saying Aisla is not sure Ruin should be, but I don't know if, like, Aisla is putting her concerns onto the character. So I'm asking you.
It's a very weird thing you are being asked to do, but this is a very weird situation you've been in for the past month or so? Months?
All right, I'm gonna. Do we have to chuck our clothes, or do we get in with all our armor?
I mean,
Do
you
we have
what
to
you
be?
want.
All right, I'm gonna shuck down to like my skivvies and hop in. I'm just gonna do it. Like, we're here. We've done weirder shit. I'm just gonna do it.
And Rengal is preparing like some towels and some wet naps for y'all when you're done.
And I put my hair up.
Yeah.
I do
Zermos,
not want that getting in the soup. It's gross.
Zermos makes two like pigtails, and then just kind of hangs the ends of them on his antlers to make sure that it doesn't slide in.
Super smart. Do you want a scrunchie? I have a scrunchie.
Delta snaps her fingers and casts prestidigitation, and she has a mohawk.
Oh my God, so cool.
Like Glory Spike's mohawk.
Nice. Is it colored?
That's fucking badass!
It turns from white to purple and black, like purple tips
Excellent.
and black.
That's what I'm talking about.
Really
I
punk,
love it.
like acid
Super.
punk.
Okay, like we're good. When we were young, the festival.
I'm not even sure prestidigitation can do that, but I hope it can.
It did, so it can. If I look over here, it's because I'm watching the ghost. Sorry, guys. I got a real world problem to go along with our stew cauldron problem.
All right, so Zermos is just gonna slide in.
I'm already in. It's not bad. It feels weird, but it's not like too cold or too hot. Is it tingly?
It feels like tar.
I don't know what tar feels like.
Something just
Like-
touched my leg.
And
No, I'm just kidding.
really gross and painful and hot.
It's not painful and it's not hot. It's warm.
Warm in a bad way.
It's
Warm.
not comfortable at all.
Warm like a chair. Warm like a chair that someone else had been sitting in too long, and you didn't know that person.
Warm like a toilet seat.
Oh, there. I feel it.
Hate
I feel
that.
it now.
Hate that. Ooh. Yep.
I'm here now.
I'm
Thank
engaging
you.
in some dissociation in order to deal with this
As
experience.
someone who uses a porta potty at work, I hate that.
Yeah,
getting
but
better.
like with one of those like carpet looking covers on it.
Ooh, yeah.
I hate everything.
I
Yeah.
love those. They remind
Let me out of
my
this
uncle.
cauldron.
And
Well, what are we doing in here anyway? Like,
Okay,
how long have
okay.
we got to be in here? What's the deal?
okay, you need to just sink in, breathe in deep, and relax.
Delta
You can
sinks
relax
in.
in this thing? What are you talking about?
Delta sinks in but doesn't breathe in. She breathes out accidentally and makes bubbles, and now she's just blowing bubbles.
You didn't have to get your head underneath. You didn't have to get your head underneath. That Ringgold lifts you up.
She's still blowing bubbles.
You didn't have to get underneath the water tar surface. Oh, it's all over my hands.
Here, I have like a little rubber, like a floaty ball. I'll push it. Like, we can push
And
this
she
back
casts
and forth if you want to
prestidigitation
play.
again, and his hands are clean.
You want to play with the ball? We could do that, Delta. That'll be fun.
Just. And he sets up like little pillow towels like against the rim of the cauldron behind each of you.
Yes.
Is there like a jet by that, or is it just like
The hell's a jet?
like a thing that pushes the whatever liquid is out with pressure, so it feels good on your body?
I was wondering how they did that at your hometown, but no, I haven't figured that out for a cauldron yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I can have someone send you plans. I mean, it's magical, so you should probably be able to do it. That'd be way more cool. This is like, you add some lights and some pressure to this, and while this is not like your best option, it's not the worst.
Red and Gold, you want us to relax? Could you get us something like to drink? Perhaps, fan us.
And
I
some
would
mood
really,
music.
and could you like...
Clones! And like a whole bunch of Rengals come out and they start fanning you, and they light some incense.
Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp. That means put strawberries in my mouth. Chirp, chirp. I'm like a baby bird. Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp.
We have cherries. You want cherries?
Perfect. But pit them first, please. Or I'll have to spit pits at you. You won't like that if I spit a pit in your hand.
Keep the pits. I'll use those for something later.
Latte with extra cold cream and
lemonade, ice cold.
Actually, I want screw my coffee order. I want lemonade.
He hands you a bottle of Hefton's Best lemonade.
She
Does
sips
that have
it out of her
raspberry
crazy
vodka
straw.
in it, or is it just plain lemonade?
It is a sparkling lemonade.
I imagine Hefton's got like drink endorsements, like a Gatorade bottle. Like,
oh
it's
yeah,
just
we've
Hefton
established this. Hefton does have drink endorsements.
He's like straight up. He's like LeBron James dunking on somebody, but instead it's him just like slicing.
It's like
something in
those
half.
It's like when the NFL comes out with like the season opener like Coke promotion, and like there's like the robot from like the like intermission, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, it's exactly that, but it's just Hefton instead of the halftime robot.
Oh man, when they get the artwork done for the bottles for his kart race. Oh, that's
exactly what's on there. Actually,
he's like drifting a cart sideways while holding up a can of his favorite drink.
it's Hefton like holding onto the side of a cart and running on the side of the stand barrier while holding a sword.
Love it.
Nice. That's because Hefton's awesome.
Go Hefton.
All right, I'm gonna. I don't know. Like, it's hard, like you tell people to relax. It's like telling someone to calm down. Like then you're like, oh my gosh, am I not calm? And you're kind of anxious. Like, now I need to be calm. It's the same thing. Like, so I need someone to distract me. Hey,
Ruin, I feel like you're milking this.
Zermos, will you tell a story?
Yeah, I'll. And then he starts telling a story.
Yeah, that'll help me relax.
The story from Little Platinum Books.
Yeah, a little pokey puppy.
Oh, the little stumpy boar. Oh,
Yeah, the stumpy boar.
the stumpy
That was
boar.
such a good one. That was such a cute one, and he had the 7 little like stumpy boar brothers, and he kept getting lost in the fence. Oh,
It was terrible.
Can I make a recommendation?
sure.
Close your
No,
eyes
I'm a
and
little-
lean back.
Peeved at you. You just said I was milking things. I don't even know how to milk anything but a cow. I mean, a goat.
I
only
feel
milk-
like you're
Lay down,
trying
lay down,
not
Ruin.
to get calm to make this last as long as possible.
I am a little nervous about what's gonna happen next.
Okay, tell me why you're nervous.
I'm sitting in a magic cauldron of like essentially stew, and we're trying to prevent this like really super powerful being from like destroying everything we love.
Okay.
Probably being nervous is a reasonable reaction.
Zermos reaches his hand out. On top of like the layer of the nasty soup stuff. Over
That's
to
what's
Ruin.
me. And we already lost one of our. I love you, Delta. I'm very excited to know you, but I also really loved Revenant. It's hard to have both. Like, I'm
He's-
excited you're here, and I also miss him.
He wants you to grab his hand. And then he puts his other arm out and he grabs Delta.
Oh, yeah, Delta.
She
hi.
grabs your hand and she grabs Ruin's hand.
So we got like this little what's it called? Little
There's a
triangle.
little circle.
It's like a
Yeah,
triangle. It makes like a triangle inside the circle.
That is actually kind of soothing. Okay, I can relax now, maybe.
All right. And as you close your eyes and relax, you begin to lose your sense of connection to your own body.
What? No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
And you can each look down and you can see your bodies and you can see your hands clasped together.
Okay.
And you raise up and you can see through the catacombs, go higher, and you can see Mine Top, and you go higher and then you see the entire island of Blasphemy, and you go up higher and you can see the entire landscape and you can see the ocean, and you go up higher and you can see the rim of the cauldron around all sides, and you can see the blue and purple streaks of space, and a purple leathery hand, perhaps the size of a county, rests beneath you and lifts you up. Hello there, everyone. So good to finally see you in person.
Who is it?
You see a purple-skinned hag with red, fiery hair and golden eyes and stars and planets for jewelry.
I think it's
Well, I thought that when I saw you, I would get to meet Revenant as well, but I see things have not transpired that way. Your
No.
kind call me the Aeon Hag.
What? Huh? What should we call you?
Aeon Hag is fine.
Okay.
What would you like to be called?
I've never really thought of it.
Should
Maggie
we
would
call
be okay.
you Maggie?
I love the
Maggie.
name Maggie.
Well, thank you.
Hmm.
The other hags like things like Auntie and Nana and Grandmother before everything, but that just... oh, sorry, hold my hand still. Sorry. You okay down there? I talk with my hands a
No,
lot.
those, like,
That's a hard
floating-
thing for me to avoid. You okay? And you all are just
Those,
kind of
like,
hanging
floating
on
in
to her
space.
hand.
Mhm.
Just whipping through the...
It's like, okay. Let me... I'm going to set you down on the bookshelf, okay? Okay, setting you down on the bookshelf now. And she, like, rests her hand down on a bookshelf. And you got to run, like, 200 feet to get off her palm.
Mhm.
But
Athletics roll.
there's enough wood behind there. And you basically have to climb down to be able to get down. Oh,
Okay.
Sorry about that. I do have a bad habit of talking with my hands.
Where are we?
You're outside the cauldron.
But not where we were when we got in it.
Come again?
When we got in the cauldron, we were not here.
No. You're
Where-
inside a cauldron. You're outside the cauldron.
So
I
we're-
understand the
are we
words you
in-
said, but they don't make sense to me.
Are we in space?
Yes.
Wow. I've never been to space.
So, I am happy you got my invitation. I am happy you have taken me up on the offer. What would you like to know about the world and about its history?
We just need to right the wrongs so we can go back to our normal life.
Ah, you're talking about Brass Vein, yes?
Brassbane and Grandma Billa and
Bilibin.
yeah, I don't like saying her name. She's kind of a jerk. But
Well, the problem with saying her name in the cauldron is that if you say her name, she gets a momentary window where she gets to listen in.
Oh.
Special perk of also being a devil.
Ms. Billa, we need to find a way to stop or contain that, and we need to figure out the whole Ayelta thing.
The god.
Well, I'll tell you, the problem with killing something like that is that you have to kill it in hell in order for it to stick.
Which thing? Ayelta or Billa? Both.
Billabitch.
Billabitch. Okay. So we have to go to the Billabitch's
Don't say that, Delta.
place of strength
Maggie.
and harm them? Like that seems suicidal.
Well, it is, so don't do
Okay.
it.
Then how do we stop them?
Well, you can stop Ailta. You are on the right path for that.
Okay.
But that being said, you are in quite the pickle with Citiline Lubri there, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm really worried about her.
Well, I'll go ahead and tell you and clear up some things with there because I think you've all been confused on that. Citiline, while traveling with Osian down in the same what's that place called? The place that builds the robots and stuff. Facility.
Oh, the green dragon library room thing?
Yeah, the place beneath that. While down in there, she was frustrated and wanted to find more that she could do for Osian and the group. And that's when Bilibin propositioned her. And she traded time for that book and for that knowledge. And Bilibin's a wicked sort. She's not going to use all the time at once. She takes bits and pieces.
So does she actually have to still give her access?
Oh, she has no choice. The access is there.
Could we transfer it? Can I take that? So she can only access me?
If you could get her to agree with it, it would be because she could do more damage with you than she could with Citiline.
Well, I was thinking more we could trick her, but that's fine.
Yeah, we don't want to. You're kind of strong, Ruin.
I don't think I'm scared of Citiline, but
you know, it's not a good idea to engage in a battle of wits with hags.
I think that's probably true. Although I think Revenant or Zermos could, honestly. They're both pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
know. Zermos has been smart and has denied her every opportunity for that sort of game every time. The only way to win is to not play with her.
Well,
Did
how do we
Revenant
not
ever make
play
any
when
deals
she's
with her?
No. Though I got to admit, I was worried she would think to offer because I think he would have thought himself smart enough to get around her.
So what do we do then? Do you think we should just go deal with the Ayelta? Sounds like maybe you don't think Bilibin's on our list.
I guess
with Ayelta.
We'll just have to deal with Ayelta without her help.
Well, here's the thing. You have to be very careful because Bilibin still does have time on her.
How do we stop it?
She is a useful thing. You know, you would need an expert not just in languages, but an expert in someone who could recognize patterns within languages, even in languages they were newly introduced to.
Like Da Lingua.
I was thinking a person who had completed the last 500 years worth of crossword puzzles.
Fumbles.
Fumbles.
Have you shown Fumbles the tablets?
I don't know, honestly.
Is there a way to talk to Fumbles?
Yeah, we just say hi.
I think Delta was asking a deeper question than,
Like,
can I talk at
can-
Fumbles?
Well,
Fumbles replies to us.
Can Fumbles, like, because the grunts are kind of confusing for me because I don't. It's hard for me to interpret things.
Well, it's hard on everyone, but the problem is that Count Ving Foxus has his head.
Why does Count Ving Foxes have his head?
Oh, because he's the one who turned him into that.
Why did he
So
do
could we
that?
get his
That
head
seems
back?
mean.
We should get his
Well-
head back.
Well, because he's an asshole.
If we got his head back, he could help us.
He might be able to. You'd
Let's
want
do it.
to work with Monsieur Mortier during the process so that he doesn't, immediately crumble into dust upon being reunited with his body fully.
Yeah, we wouldn't want that. That doesn't sound pleasant at all.
But yeah. That being said, Count Ving Foxus is a danger not to be trifled with. I want to be very deliberate with that. Fortunately, he is immobile. He cannot leave his desk.
Where's this desk?
It's in Castle Ving Foxus.
Let's go do it.
Bumbles knows where it's at.
Do you think Fumbles would want to go, or would that be traumatic for him?
We might recognize him.
I think it's fine. Put him off as. I mean, if it's crazy.
I would definitely try to pump your informant for as much information about Castle Ving Foxes as you could get.
Okay.
And you want to take a singer with you.
Singer, huh?
Not just a bard, a singer, a performer.
Do we know any performers?
You could probably hire one of the Thrashers very easily.
Hmm.
That would be my recommendation.
Okay. Go to Castle Bane Foxy. Okay.
Yes.
Was there anything else we needed to ask the hag?
I mean, I could give you advice on how to kill Slab Maker, but at this point in your adventuring careers, I think you're so far above him, you'll put a stop to him in no time.
What about the vampires and the Divine Menagerie?
Oh, all right. Hermes Rudgerson, the book?
Mm-hmm.
You need to be very careful with that. You need to make sure when you talk to it, there is no one of his blood in the room.
Okay, why?
Because he will possess them and take over their body and use them to...
And he'll be back up and running again with a new body.
Yeah, he is incredibly dangerous.
Rutgerson.
And, xenophobic.
Yes.
Like, okay,
Pick that up too.
everything you hate about Christopher Rudgerson,
Hmm?
that's who he got it from.
And it's a lot. Like, I hate a lot about Christopher.
There's a lot to hate.
I
Long
sort of
list.
It is. It's a long list. I'm a little mad at myself for it, but it's just the facts. I can't pretend to be someone I'm not. Sad.
And I definitely need the three of you to take care of this because, if you don't, well, reality itself may be destroyed. And then I would,
pressure. Got it.
I would, not be able to watch my shows.
They aren't real, so you should be fine.
No. By my shows, I mean, I like watching people in all their various stages of drama.
Oh, yeah, that
Oh,
is kind
us.
of you. Us.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I think
you're,
Revenant called that voyeurism.
Yeah, I totally get it though. Like when you have two friends who are like super into drama, like it can be kind of fun if you have popcorn, as long as you know you're gonna be like removed.
yes, but, I'm a hag, dearies. Now, admittedly, I'm the Aeon hag, and I feel a certain level of affinity towards the creatures of the cauldron.
Wait, is that us? Am I a creature of the cauldron? That's
Yes. I owe some level of responsibility for your existence. So
Like all of it.
I don't want this little accident to end catastrophically. That doesn't feel right to me.
We are super on the same page.
Yes.
It'd be like if your favorite show got canceled in the last 3 episodes. And there was like a really big cliffhanger.
Yes,
Okay.
I remember there was a particularly interesting divorce I was watching that got destroyed because the husband got run over by a cart.
A cot?
A cart.
Well, it wasn't Zermos' cart because it goes way too slow to run anyone over.
Yeah, definitely not me.
No way. Let's move on though. I don't want to waste your time. So we know how to deal with a book. What about the vampires and the menagerie?
So, specifically the vampires, again, I already said this. Get a performer, get a singer to help you out. You definitely need someone to sort of round out the party there. The Divine Menagerie, you need to be interrogating Hermes Rudkerson. He is the one who developed all these failsafes.
Okay.
And there is a specific god within the menagerie. Horophos the Damned.
Okay.
At his full strength, he was able to predict much of the future. I don't think he can do as much now. It doesn't seem that way. But that is the god you wish to enlist, sort of to help you. He's basically been brought down to your level, but he is still in possession of much of his wisdom. He'll understand how to deal with the menagerie.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I just asked you a bunch of questions. So I feel
Where
like
do
it's
you
not
sleep?
fair. There we go.
I don't.
Can I have that ability not to sleep?
I mean,
Pretty please? Like to still
I-
be breast
I-
but not need to sleep?
I was going to offer you boons, as is tradition.
Okay.
Do you want that to be your boon?
I'll go last. Let me think about it.
Okay.
I want to see what other people come up with for boons. Or can you like give like a spectrum? Like sometimes I ask for too little or too much. Like it's very confusing.
What am boons?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing that the she who points the way gave us.
That doesn't help me because I don't remember that. So what's a boon?
You know
A boon is a large gift.
Like the belt of giant strength or the goggles of night vision.
Right. Or the ability to be rested without sleeping. Like Revenant had. Or just to walk quietly. I don't know. I think I want to be able to sleep without resting. Rest without sleeping. That would be nice. But what are examples of boons? Did you always go away?
Are you asking what I've given people in the past?
Or what you think is a good idea? Because, like, you know way more about this than we do.
Let's see now.
Yeah, dealer's choice.
I gave Osian a belt of gender changing.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I gave Zeus a thunderous pole arm that he could throw and it would return to him.
Okay.
That was pretty cool. I felt pretty good about that.
Can you do that with a spear?
I could probably do that. I gave Fumbles a coach pulled by magical Pegasi.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot I could do.
What do you think? Like, yeah, I kind of like Zermos' idea. Dealer's choice. You know way more than we do about what would be useful to us. Why don't you give us something you think is a good idea?
Let me think a little bit. You talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to rifle through the pantry.
Yeah.
I know what I want.
Oh, do you now?
What are you getting?
I want an ability to talk to my dad and learn the spells that he knew that he didn't teach me.
I mean, how do you say no to that? Daughter, dad.
Oh,
I could just talk to him. I don't need to learn spells from him.
So,
I just want to talk to him.
There are problems in place with doing that. You see, the Order of Death existed before the Cauldron and is not beholden to me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dearie, I'm so sorry. I'll think of something good for you if you wish. I'm so sorry. Oh, that makes me sad. That's going to make it harder to find something. Hold on, I'm going to the pantry. Talk amongst yourselves, please.
It's a great idea, Delta. I'm sorry.
I miss him. I didn't know him very well.
He was a very interesting being. So.
It's kind of weird, but a good weird, but weird. Like there was this one time, in battle in a cavern, when asked to heal one of us, these disgusting, long apparitions just came out of his hand and breathed this nasty purple ooze out and into. It was truly stomach turning.
But we got
like
better.
this, and she casts Cure Wounds, and a heart appears in her hands and pumps 3 times. And
see, that's what I'm talking about.
That's just like it. Yeah. You know, Revenant. Here's the thing. Every time that you are, diplomatic or like that you access this magic, that's your meeting Revenant in a certain way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Much like a venereal disease, I'm pretty sure most people have some Revenant, some trace amounts of Revenant in them. You most of all.
Was that meant to be comforting, Zermos? Because I feel like you skipped something there.
Oh,
I think that
I got something
accurate.
for you, Zarmos. I found something right here. There we go. And you see she's rifling around in what appears to be a pool of shadow. And she pulls out a shadow of a man, like it is a man's shadow. And she like takes a needle and thread and she picks you up. And she like sticks the feet of the shadow to your shadow to your feet. And she like almost like sews it. You don't feel it passing through your skin, but you feel like it's being attacked.
Burns! It burns!
No, it doesn't. Hush.
It hurts! It hurts!
Hush. And she gets done and she sets you down. Zarmos, you now have Shadow Step.
So cool! That's the best!
Sweet.
Way cooler than you could have come up with, right? Like,
yep.
Hey, that's good. She's good.
That is badass. I don't even know how to add that, but I'm gonna try. Cool.
And she looks at you, Delta. She goes, yeah, I know what to give you. And she reaches into a silverware drawer. And she pulls out a silver spoon. It's literally a spoon made of silver. And it is as tall as Delta is. And
that's not a spoon, that's a shovel.
Passes it to you. It is definitely shaped like a spoon.
Okay, but it's
she's like holding onto it and she casts she's like holding onto it and she casts reduce on it and it shrinks.
It does not, in fact. You try to cast reduce on it and it does nothing.
Oh shit. So I just got this big ass spoon. Hell yeah!
You look like the little Pillsbury Doughboy.
I got the Monster Slayer spoon, bitch.
But whenever you hold it horizontal, you get the feeling that you can conjure food inside of it.
Oh wow!
Like whatever food you can think of, you can conjure in this thing.
She's gonna instantaneously make Revenant's favorite food, which I have already set up a long time ago. Monte Cristo sandwiches with jelly.
Nice.
With powdered sugar, right?
Oh,
Dip
of
'em?
course, powdered sugar and like that savory French toast instead of that like overly sweet.
That is so good.
Yeah.
Then Virginia ham, like Black Forest ham.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like that good
Yeah.
stuff. Not they didn't skimp out on the meat.
You gotta
This
use
magic
good stuff.
sandwich.
Yeah, you gotta like peanut-fed pigs.
Yeah. It's
This is my bread
lubrian.
bowls,
It's lubrian ham. Lubrian
There you go.
ham.
Lubrian peanut-fed. Yep. Mm.
I'm so
Yeah.
hungry and I hate you guys so much right now. Like I'm
So-
like I'm gonna eat as soon as we're done. And
Well, look. Here's the thing. I'm pretty hungry too, and I have to make hamburgers for myself and my girl.
It's like, Ruin, you pride yourself on being a well-rounded person.
I guess.
And she pulls out a deck of cards,
Okay.
and from it takes the Jack of Diamonds, the Jack of Hearts, the Jack of Clubs, and the Jack of Spades,
Okay.
and she crumbles them up in her hand and pushes it into your soul.
Into my soul?
Yep, she just pushes it right in there. You sort of feel attached to these
what?
magical cards.
Should get Jack
And
of all trades.
Wow, that's like sunshine.
You are now the Jack of all trades. You can
Ooh.
use your
my God.
proficiency bonus with all skills.
Oh yes, I am a jack of all
Sweet.
trades. I love it.
Good boons. Nice boon haul.
I like it. I never would have thought of that. Thank you.
All right, dearies.
Delta's still
So-
carrying this big ass spoon, and she loves it.
You have the whole, or I can give it to you. I think.
You
can
can
have
you'll grow into it, Delta.
You know,
I would
here's
like
the
to
whole-
point out that your physical bodies are not here right now.
Oh, okay.
So once you return to your material forms, it will look a little bit different.
Okay.
That's a good reminder. I
Yeah.
was sort of feeling here,
All
but I
right.
guess I'm there.
I feel like we've concluded our business.
How do we find you if we need you again?
Yeah,
do we
can
have to
we,
get into
like,
another bottle of
can-
soup?
Do you have like contact information? I don't have my
So
business
I
cards on
don't
my
recommend
Spectral phone.
doing it on a regular basis because contacting with me and interacting with me for long, extended periods of times can lead to problems and madness. And you know what? It's like a time distance shielding sort of thing, like for radiation.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Yeah.
if I want to just double check here. What you just said is if we interact with you too much, we'll go crazy.
Oh, yes. Big
Okay.
time.
Well,
Wait,
like,
I heard
but again,
radiation. Are you
isn't too
can
much,
Are you a
right?
carcinogen?
Okay, bye.
She flushes us down the spectral toilet.
I still don't know how we're gonna see her again though. Like she's not to do it, but I feel like that was kind of like a little bit of a dodge.
The answer was no.
I don't like it.
The answer was you don't see her twice. Ever.
Really? This is our only chance. We don't even get to say goodbye. God, it's rude.
All right, she has picked you up and is going to set you all back in the cauldron. Sorry, did you have something to say?
Well, I just thought maybe we could say thank you and goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
we can pause and laugh for that. You are quite welcome. Please keep my cauldron safe. I don't
Yes.
like having to interact with it physically. I lack a lot of subtlety when I do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like Old
people,
Testament style.
well, people react weird when it turns out a finger can just sort of squish an entire city.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
there's that.
You should maybe like make it instead of using a finger, maybe like cast a spell and make it look like a boulder or something.
Well, like I got like these tiny little gardening implements, like like for a stone garden, but for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I've done a couple of subtle things with some sculpting,
That's
but
probably
mostly in the
better way.
unoccupied areas.
Yeah, I would do that. If I were you, I
Delta
would
gives her a
definitely do that.
normal set of forceps.
Oh, thank you,
Like
child.
etymology forceps too, so that they're super gentle.
Those are for getting babies out of women, right?
But no, they're for picking up bugs.
Oh, okay. It's confusing.
Thank you. I'll have to look at getting these set up for my hands. And she is very, very careful not to talk with her other hand.
That's good. Thank you.
And she sets you all down in the cauldron, and you float back down into your bodies.
Mm.
You try to look at anything while you're descending down?
I mean, if I see something catch my eye, if there's any more sparkles, I'm totally looking at that.
I mean, it's super sparkly up here.
Okay, I'm just gonna enjoy the view.
Yeah.
I'm going to be looking down to make sure there's nothing that's coming to hurt us, because I'm new to this world and everything seems to be a threat so far.
Good for us.
Okay. You don't know enough about the world to determine what threats are. You pass through a condor at one point, and it freaks you out.
That's a big bird! Oh my god!
They're pretty big.
Zermos is where when we're up high enough to we can see the ocean, and he just kind of longingly gazes for a second. One day,
It's on the other side of the ocean, do you?
probably more ocean. The biggest
Does it
thing there
ever
is.
end?
That's what I want to see.
Can I go with you?
To where?
Totes.
The ocean?
See where
Yeah.
the ocean goes.
That sounds smart. Yeah, let's do that together. Go on an adventure when we're done with all this work stuff.
Yeah, road trip.
Road trip. We have a flying ship.
But we should sail. Take our time.
Yeah, we can use it. All right, so now what are we going to do? I guess...
You descend back through the catacombs and back into your bodies. See, I'm going to take that and I'm going to slow it down and reverse it and make it super weird. It'll be cool.
Flip, 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 flip.
All right. And Rengal hands each of you like a wet towel and a towel.
Yeah, thanks. Like scrubbing down.
Oh, hold on. Delta, can you take care of this?
And Delta snaps her fingers and casts prestidigitation on all three of them, and all the dirt just flies off. But like all over the walls and everyone else.
And Rengal wipes it out of his eyes and just flicks it onto the ground.
Sorry, I'm new to this.
And casts prestidigitation on himself.
I duck under my
Right.
He does it without exploding things.
I don't know what he's gonna do. He's Titty Tuesday guy. He's already tricked me once.
There's just like this ping pong match of prestidigitation slinging like a mud ball back and forth.
It's going from cult member to cult member. It's just
he conjures a light underneath his finger, like just like it's a little flashlight, like it's a little pin light, and he's like looking into your eyes, all of you, each of you, back and forth, going, yeah, okay, good.
Delta's eye is like rolled up, like one of her eyes is rolled up, and then it rolls back down, and then she giggles.
Okay, I don't know what's normal for you actually, so I don't know why I'm bothering. So, y'all good? You gained some perspective? Didn't go mad?
I mean, that, I think the jury's out, but I feel fine right now.
Okay, so.
Can Zermos take a little walk? Can we walk around Mine Top?
Yeah, you can.
I have an idea, but I need something. Can you guys walk with me? Talk with me? Mm-hmm. And we'll just go over to like this probably won't be a big magical bullshit roll, but I want to find like a weeping willow. So he kind of wants to like walk around town to see if he can find like a weeping willow tree anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, roll me nature.
12 plus. My nature is like ridiculous. 17 total.
Okay, there was actually one at the Ailton Embassy. The Taysemeyer House, I think is what we called it. Where your adventure sort of got off the rails.
Oh, the haunted house that got renovated by the first golems we met.
Yep.
Where we
Yeah, there's a willow tree outside of it.
Okay.
So Zermos finds this willow, this weeping willow, and God, I'm looking so hard. I am furiously Googling just so I can get this somewhat right. He wants like seeds, I guess, is what I'm looking for. He wants some willow seeds.
They're like little pods. They fall from the tree in like a little like leaf pod.
Is that that's not the helicopters, right?
That's maple trees that are like that. I don't know if
Yeah.
willow trees are like that.
That's what I'm like. I don't know if they have like saplings. Oh yeah, they got little fluffy white seed pod things.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm seeing a picture of them right now. That's neat.
Okay, yeah. So he wants some of those. He wants to take those and put those in his pack.
Okay, he's got them. You can
Oh,
put in
man.
willow seed fluff.
Cool.
Oh, we used to call those pussy willows.
I thought that was a different thing.
Well, that's what I said. Willow tree seed pods, and that's what came up. Well, I'll stop. You guys figured it out, but they're cool looking, and I like them.
I think this will be very useful later.
Love willow seed.
Yeah, maybe.
Isn't that helpful when our DM is like, maybe? I don't know. That is not really reassuring.
I mean, plant growth has been the most powerful spell in Zermos' arsenal. I would not be surprised if he just created like a gun out of these willow trees or something.
It's a willow bazooka.
It bends, but doesn't break.
It's the Willow Tree RPG.
Right.
I thought Mikey was trying to give me a cool scene to end on. It's like, no, I'm pocketing some willow seeds.
That was cool.
Well,
We're all exclaiming over the willow
Here.
seed.
I'll give you your ending. I got you.
Can I do like?
You're my closer,
like,
Mikey.
I got this. Go ahead and go ahead, Delta, and then I'll say what I was gonna say.
Could I do just a flavor thing with one of the spells I have where I use life transference to make the willow seed grow in my hand?
And then
Yeah.
as it's growing in your hand, Zermos will kind of this is perfect. Zermos is going to kind of not touch the seedling, the little green that's growing out, but he's gonna just kind of put his hands like around and under. And it's just gonna shoot up, so that you have to just drop it onto the floor because it's larger than what you can handle. And he looks down at her and says, "You never know when you need a little shade."
Hmm.
Yeah, but I think the important thing to keep in mind is Ubaga Woofum Dog Dod Whip Not Chobda Dog.
Dubagadoska!
Visos Rextuzo.
Shababa,
Well-
Shababa!
Little moment of transparency here.
Hmm?
Partook in a little something on the break. literally thought I was losing my mind for about 2.5 seconds.
No, they
really
went into a completely weird language that doesn't exist.
I was like, I have someone just cast forget. I just got a wisdom damage. Like I'm like I've lost the ability to speak now. Like what happened?
Friends, clip it. That's going to be the stinger for this episode when it goes up.